There are so many possibilities for Chapter 28 in Dead by Daylight. Since we've left the leaks era behind, it really does seem like right now anything is possible for upcoming chapters, even some of the biggest licenses. In today's video, we're going to overview some of the legitimate possibilities for Dead by Daylight's anniversary chapter. These aren't leaks, but rather evidence-based speculations. Hey everyone, it's Schmuckles. Don't mind my hair, woke up. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content like this. I'm also live on Twitch right now streaming Dead by Daylight, link for that in the description below. Make sure to stick around to the end of the video if you want to see an interview where James Wan actually says that he wants to see Megan in Dead by Daylight. The floodgates have opened up for possibilities for Dead by Daylight's anniversary. Even some of the wildcard licenses seem plausible. I'm talking about big licenses like Friday the 13th, which now has active projects making progress in the film and television industry. Candyman, which had Amazon buy out MGM in a massive deal last year. Pennywise, which now has a show in the works right now as well. Slenderman, which recently was celebrating the 10-year anniversary of the game Slender: The Arrival. Of course, this anniversary could also be original. Let's be honest though, the direction that this game is headed, we really need a big anniversary chapter. Whether that's a really well done original chapter with a new map and a really big event, or an exciting license to end the consecutive rough original chapters that we've had in this game. According to Leaks by Daylight, Chapter 28 will be licensed. This post is presented as a leak, although I don't know the source of the information. Leaks by Daylight has a mixed reputation when it comes to things like this. They did call out before any other source that Chapter 27 would be original. That post was presented as a leak as well, just like this one. To me, when I was trying to figure out what Chapter 27 could possibly be, I thought it was most likely going to be licensed because of interviews with Matthew Cote. But for some reason, even with that information public, Leaks by Daylight was able to say that Chapter 27 was original and was right. So does Leaks by Daylight have an inside source of some sort right now? It seems like it's possible. If they do, it seems likely that Chapter 28 is going to be a licensed chapter. They wrote on their website, a few months ago I was the only one to anticipate that the March chapter would be original. And today I'm the only one to tell you that at the moment of the information I have, the next chapter DVD will be licensed. And it will be a collaboration that will surprise fans. Make sure to take things like this with a grain of salt. I'm not sure how true this information is, but we'll have it documented here in this video for reference later. People were wondering if Behavior was teasing the return of Stranger Things again recently. On March 14th, they posted this picture here on Twitter about bot loadouts, and on the perks they included Nancy Wheeler's Inner Healing. Currently on all of my survivors, the perk is called Inner Healing with Nancy's icon. But if you didn't have the perk unlocked by Nancy, it appears as Inner Healing with this icon. So this icon of Nancy still isn't totally gone from the game, but people still thought it was interesting that Behavior decided to show Nancy's perk on the screenshot. I'm not sure if this is a tease, but I did find it strange and worth mentioning. There have been a lot of Alien and Dead by Daylight rumors, which we actually covered in the previous video. If you want to see that previous video, you can click on the title above. There's been even more rumors circulating around, starting from this post on Behavior's website. They posted this banner on their website, which has an icon that looks like the Alien icon from the Alien 3 poster. I even threw this into a program to compare how closely they matched. It's not a perfect match, but the design appears to be pretty similar. I think that Behavior's pretty familiar with their licensing space and what kinds of things would be seen as a tease for certain franchises. Like this little Alien 3 swivel was something that we thought we saw for one of the anniversary teasers as well. I think it was the 6th in the 6-year anniversary poster before we knew what the chapter was. People were comparing that to this Alien 3 logo. Behavior is definitely aware of all of the theories that were circulating around the 6-year anniversary, so they'll know about that Alien design, and then putting a similar design on this poster here is kind of suspicious. So some people are thinking that Behavior could have been secretly teasing that Alien is the anniversary chapter. The other day in Fortnite, I saw that Alien actually returned to the game there as well. It's in the shop in Fortnite, which means that the license holders have actively been open with collaborating with the Fortnite franchise. Also, in January of 2023, Behavior appointed a new senior community manager named Nick Van Voogd. I may have butchered that name. It's actually kind of interesting because Nick seems to be connected to John T. Drake as well. John T. Drake, the vice president of video game licensing at 20th Century Studios, would be the avenue for Behavior to license Alien or Predator into Dead by Daylight. Ever since Behavior's talked about partnering with James Wan and Jason Blum at Blumhouse, it seems like a Blumhouse property could be the anniversary chapter. James Wan actually referenced the deal with Behavior before it was public in this interview in January.
Now, can you tell me a little bit about your partnership with Blumhouse, and is there any IP that you're really interested in tackling that Jason Blum has?
Well, it's obviously very early on, and there's not a lot I can really speak to at this moment, but to answer that question, hell yes, of course, yes. And obviously not just at Blumhouse, with Universal as well. So that's about to the extent I would say.
Killing me here.
One of the rumors floating around right now is Megan, the short AI killer. The movie was released on January 6th of this year. This is a project that both Jason Blum and James Wan had been working on together since 2018. There was a rumor going around in the DVD Leaks Discord. Masuster said allegedly part of the anniversary stream script was sent to me. I asked the person who sent this if they could have any additional evidence that would confirm if it's real or at least convince me that they could have access to such information. But I didn't get a response, so basically their evidence to support this is just another trust me bro scenario. Therefore, this rumor classifies as most likely false. And here's what was sent to mass. It's supposed to be Dave Richards' speech at the anniversary coming this summer. It references a Megan ability to crawl on all fours extremely fast with a pounce ability. It also references a survivor, Gemma Wilson, and a new map being the headquarters for the popular toy company Funky. Personally, I don't think it really seems like Megan is going to be the anniversary chapter. James Wan said this in an interview in early January just before the release of the movie Megan.
So when you look at Megan, I gotta ask you this. PlayStation VR 2 is coming out soon. Have y'all thought about doing a VR version of Megan so that a lot of gamers can experience what we saw in the movie but through a gaming lens?
Oh, that's cool.
This is the gamer
Yeah.
over here. You're asking the right
that's
person.
cool. I'd love to see her maybe in Dead by Daylight. That could be awesome to see a little Megan running around. Like, that would be sick. Yes.
Alright, fine. Alright, so good. We got that.
That's a yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, yeah.
So now,
This interview is actually brought to my attention by Isma on Twitter, so a big shout out and a big thanks to Isma for bringing this to my attention. I appreciate it. It's pretty funny that James Wan thought of a Dead by Daylight chapter here and was pretty enthusiastic about it. So this interview was in January. There's no way James would have said this here if a Megan deal was currently in the works. He probably would have had an NDA and not mentioned anything about Megan in DBD. So if the anniversary is Megan, that would mean that a deal would have to have happened after this interview in January, giving Behavior about 5 months to fully develop a full Megan chapter. It's true that Behavior was probably already in contact with Jason Blum at this time over the Dead by Daylight movie contract. In fact, I think it's possible to guess a timeline of events. November 15th, Jason says, "Hi everyone, I've been on hiatus. I've been working on some major motion picture deals and some such." This was after Megan, FNAF, and The Conjuring 4 were announced by Jason. At this time, Jason had already tweeted out about the FNAF movie production start date. So I think it's high odds that Jason Blum was talking about the unannounced Dead by Daylight movie here. He said, "I've been working on some major motion picture deals and some such." Here, adding some such is strange because it seems like he could be talking about major motion picture deals as well as other kinds of projects. Like, is Jason referencing a Dead by Daylight chapter here? He went on this hiatus on November 15th, and just a few short days earlier on November 11th, Matthew Cote said we'd be surprised by future collaborations when asked about upcoming licensed content. And we've had very little licensed content since this interview with Matthew Cote. We've had William Birkin. I suppose the leak Alice in Wonderland content could qualify as a surprise, but I'm not entirely sure that it's licensed. I think the Alice in Wonderland property from the original story has gone into the public domain, so that's not really a licensed deal per se. We're not getting Disney's Alice in Wonderland, that would be licensed. I'm pretty sure it's an odd public domain version of it. The main takeaway from all of this is I think it's possible that Jason Blum, Matthew Cote, and Dead by Daylight were talking about the Dead by Daylight movie deal here, as well as possibly a licensed chapter. Do we think it'd be too far-fetched for Behavior to also negotiate for a DBD chapter in addition to the movie deal? It would be in line with Matthew Cote teasing licensed content in the game, which we really haven't seen in the game yet. Devil's advocate, in this tweet, Jason Blum could have been referencing the merge that happened between Blumhouse and James Wan's film production company, Atomic Monster. What do you think is most likely? Let me know in the comments below. If Chapter 28 is a Jason Blum or James Wan property because those companies just merged, it's probably not Megan because of that interview that we talked about earlier in this video. But they seemed enthusiastic about Dead by Daylight in that interview. We'd be looking at The Black Phone, The Conjuring, or The Nun as top contenders. One of the major motion picture deals that Jason could have been talking about in that tweet is Megan 2.0, which he teased for the first time on January 18th this year. Jason Blum also could have been talking about the new video game division opening at Blumhouse, which he tweeted about on February 21st. Now, a few days ago, Jason Blum tweeted, "Very soon, very big news." And Eric Pope, the community director at Dead by Daylight, tweeted back with a pair of eyes. I don't know if they're getting ready to announce a Dead by Daylight chapter here, or if Eric's just waiting to know what the surprise is just like everybody else. If this is a Dead by Daylight chapter announcement here, Eric would know what Jason is talking about here. To be honest, something that really fits timeline-wise with Jason Blum's tweet here is a Friday the 13th Blumhouse deal. That would be huge news and maybe something that Blumhouse was negotiating last year. Those are kind of the dominating theories right now for what could be coming for the anniversary. If Chapter 28 is licensed, which licenses do you think are most likely? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content content like this. That does it for this video. Goodbye.